Ho interrotto la registrazione mentre eravamo nelle... Perché
nelle
poi
breakout.
il sistema ti permette di tagliare l'inizio e la fine e quindi lasciare solo la registrazione buona, però in mezzo non ti fa tagliare i pezzi morti, diciamo.
Ok, sì, sì, quindi in realtà non devi interromperla, poi riprenderla, sì.
Esatto. Veronica, quando vuoi tu io gli do gli ultimi 60 secondi.
Ok, allora andrei ancora un minuto, cioè gli darei ancora un minuto, poi facciamo partire 60 secondi, così sono 5 minuti da quando gli abbiamo detto che avevano 5 minuti.
Perfetto.
Ok.
E poi scusami Veronica, domani ci siete voi di nuovo al pomeriggio, giusto?
Sì, sempre noi, sì, sì.
Quindi io domani vi do già subito di default a te
Ok.
e alla Luce, vi arriverà secondo me un link dove vi dice una roba tipo sapete siete co-host di questa roba.
Ok, e quindi entriamo lì e facciamo subito le
Date quel
breakout
link,
anche.
siete già a posto. Invece la mattina c'è Monica di nuovo o Rita, non mi ricordo.
La mattina, oddio, mi pare Monica, o Monica Tamas o comunque qualcuno della scuola Gheorghe.
Vero? E quindi adesso magari glielo chiedo e anche a loro faccio la stessa cosa in
Secondo
modo
me
che...
c'è qualcuno della loro scuola, sì,
Dopo
perché mi sembrava
controllo.
di aver letto qualcosa del genere.
Sì. Così almeno non rischiamo che non veda
Ok.
i gruppi.
Ok, possiamo dargli gli ultimi 60 secondi, anche se qualcuno vedo che sta già rientrando.
Stanno tornando.
Ciao.
Hello.
Ciao a tutti.
Hello, how did you find the brainstorming activity?
Muy bien.
Muy bien?
Very
Okay,
good.
great. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we wait the others to come in the shared meeting, and then we will ask some of you to present.
Yeah, I think.
We only have 5 minutes, so maybe we will not be able to make a roundtable presentation.
And we will see if the Mrs. Orla has arrived, has joined
okay.
us, and we will check.
Okay.
Now we are just us here. I don't know if Chiara can see if Orla Steinbeck has joined us. Chiara, have you? Because I can't see. I see
Chiara, sei muto? Scusa, perché? Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, we weren't ready. Okay.
Yes, name Stella, I know that is Steinbeck, the surname.
Yes.
And the name?
Orla. Orla.
Orla. I think that she's here with us.
Okay. So.
Okay, we are back. Okay, so thank you everyone. I hope the the group activity was good for you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I take the silence as
Yeah.
okay. So any volunteer who wants to present the identikit they tried to provide for the first person who was Serena?
Yeah, I'm sending here a note for group 1 because they didn't
Great.
have the presentation. So
Okay.
I'm sending here. So if someone want to speak here, you can find our notes.
Okay.
Maybe I can speak.
Thank you.
Thank you, Felipe.
So she is curious, nervous, happy, scared, in love, interested. There are the feelings that she have when she walks in a new place, in the restaurant, in the reception, in a city, or the issues she had.
So are good or bad feelings?
One of them are good, one of them are
Good.
bad.
Yes,
Okay,
that's it.
mixed
Good.
feelings. Okay.
To move in a different place, she maybe hits on the walls, stairs, doors. She confront people and bad comments or good comments, depend.
Mhm.
And she has a expectation from that place, I think. And all of us, when we travel somewhere, we have an expectation. And no, the sound, music, smell, taste, romantic dinner with a lot of wine,
Okay.
Yeah.
presents, flower, or maybe a special corner. I don't know, maybe that's all we thought that was good.
Okay. Thank you, Felipe.
Very good.
Very good. Okay. Shall we see how they imagine the Serena feelings and the expectation for group 2? Which was, I think, Daniela, Anna Grazia, and then I don't know who else.
And then Norris and Maria Giovanna and oh, well, I don't remember Patrizia.
Okay.
Okay, Daniela, do you want to explain
Yes.
what we found out?
Yes.
Okay, very
Thank
good.
you.
Mhm.
So
Thank
it's
you.
important to make her feel normal,
Okay.
and to not accord her too much attention, because she may feel uncomfortable with that attention. And on the empathy side, that's what we established. And it's important that the staff approach her in a friendly way, to not scare her or to not use high voice tonality. And she has expectations from the hotel, and I think the very important is an elevator, because she's blind and she cannot walk on the stairs. And the elevator should be designed in a specific way, and to have voice announcements when they reach a specific floor, so she can know when she reach her floor, when she wants to go to her room. And more improvement, I think it's will be to have a doorbell at the entrance, so she can have someone to come and show her around.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know if someone else has to add something.
Okay. Thank you, Daniela, for your
Thank you so
notes.
much.
Yeah, I think they will be really useful.
Yeah. I like the part of she has the same expectation that
Yeah, that
than
everyone
us
has.
traveling
Yes.
with our husband, wife, or so. This was a key point also for group 1. So
You're welcome.
Okay. So let's move on to family business. It was for group 3 and 4. We have any volunteer from group 3?
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alicia.
What does she feel and think? She most likely to feel happier, interesting, scarier. She thinks that if this place is safe for her kids and for they. What issues does she have? The stairs, the elevator doesn't exist or something like that, because they have baggage, because they're traveling. And what they expect for the accommodation services. I think a big room for their child, a food maybe, because he have 6 months and start to change food or something like that. I think.
Good.
Okay.
That's it, I think.
Thank you, Alicia. yes, it's interesting also to have to having to take into account dietary needs for family, especially with small children.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Space. They need big
Space
space.
also, it's an important issue. So you see that as those kind of a special requirement or access need are common to so to each one of us in a specific moment, maybe of our life, and they're not just related to some kind of specific impairments. So the same problem that Serena might face, the stairs, can be a problem for can be an issue for a family with a child. Okay, so if we have do we have time, Stella, to move on to the other group's presentation?
I think that 5 minutes we can use 5 minutes more.
Thank you.
Okay, so if any volunteer for group 4, do you have something to add to the possible identikit of the family we were introduced to?
Come on. We can see
Very
you.
shy.
We were group 5 and we did the one with the family.
Sorry, group 5 then maybe. Okay.
5.
So, I don't know, I can present, but I'm the teacher. I would like the student to present.
Yeah, we'd like the students to be more...
please help us, please, don't be shy. She warned me, I'm not going to present. Please, Anna, save us.
Come on.
Okay, I'll do it.
Thank you.
Okay.
And she's also presenting.
Okay, so we were not sure about which one we had to do, so we just chose one, which was the family situation.
Sorry, there was a mistake on presentation. Sorry about groups.
No, it's okay. We just followed not to stop, so
good.
We thought not just the woman, but also the man can both feel worried and anxious about the conditions they're going to find in a hotel, because they have a little kid, 6 months old is nothing, like it's just, the baby is just born. So there are a lot of issues that parents in that moment are feeling also, because it's a moment of change in their life. So they're not traveling the same way. We don't know if it's the first journey they're doing or that they travel a lot, but we don't really know it because it wasn't explained. So they can feel anxious and worried in a way. They can also feel a little bit embarrassed or worried also, because the baby, when he's so small, they cry a lot and they cry so loud. So maybe they can feel like they are bothering other people, and that makes them not feel very comfortable in their experience of vacation. But anyway, that's what we found. I don't know if anyone would think about anything else, but the issues we thought they have to face, more specifically the woman, is that she has to breastfeed. Breastfeed. So maybe. Well, we were talking and debating about the places we have been, the situations we have lived, and in many places there are not specifically breastfeeding areas where the woman can feel absolutely free to breastfeed and not hide from anyone. And that is a big or something I think is very important, because if you're going to vacation, you're going on vacation to feel extremely relaxed or extremely free. And if being you is making other people uncomfortable, and that making you uncomfortable, I think is a very wrong way to destroy the vacations of someone. And I know it's a bigger problem because it's a society problem, or a cultural problem, I would say, but just the case that a person who owns a hotel decides to build these kind of areas to protect women from anything, it just makes a change, because the woman is going to feel free, is going to feel safe, and she's going to tell other pregnant women that they should go to that hotel because they can be free and safe. and also changing areas and tables for the babies in the rooms, in the toilets, not just in the rooms, but in every toilet, because you don't know when the moment is going to arrive. You don't know when you have to change your baby.
Yes.
Some babies need more changes, some others need less. You don't really know, because we're human beings and we cannot control so little kids. And Monica was commenting that the big issue she had when she was a mother was that she was traveling with her baby and she wasn't able to find so many times pure water to build or prepare the feeding bottles with milk, because we're also not concerned as a society that not every woman breastfeeds the same quantity of milk the same months or the same amount of months. So if you see a mother with a little baby, you can think she's breastfeeding, and you don't take into account that maybe she's not, and she needs warm water or kettles to boil water to prepare food. So it's just a thing of concern and making people understand the reasons behind every situation. And our solutions for that, as I was saying all the way around, but what we would expect, or any women should expect with a baby or a family in general, is to have enough breastfeeding areas and changing tables or rooms, kettles and pure water in every room, and also open areas and playground if you're going to have kids.
Wow, thank
Okay.
you.
Wow,
Anne.
thank
I
you.
think
You
that's
really put on a new mom shoes.
Yes.
Really,
yeah.
Thank
really
you.
good job.
I think it's a very good job. I also would like to point out another issues that just came to my mind. I've always wondered about changing areas. This is a society problem indeed, but I've always been wondering why, if when you go to places, it's the changing area is usually in the woman's toilet. So maybe if you're a dad and you need to change
Yes.
the baby, it's like you have to enter in the
Or
woman's
if you are a
toilet.
mom and you do not want to change the baby.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I don't know how much time we have left.
I don't know. I'd like to know, sorry, if Orla Steinbeck is with us. So please give a sign. And so,
Yes.
in
Hello.
order.
Okay.
Okay, she's with us.
Hello.
She's with us. See, would you mind if we take 5 minutes more to finish this discussion with students, and then we start with your presentation? It's okay for you?
Yeah, that's no problem at all. I'm actually enjoying the discussion.
Hi. So
Okay, great.
Hi,
Thank you.
welcome. So we will leave 5 minutes more to students to present what they found out.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
So let's go.
Thank you. So we have the last two groups. I'm sorry, I just realized in the presentation that I was mistaken myself by writing down the number. So sorry, math is not really my, let's say, my best quality. But the group that was in room 5 should have something to tell us about Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Group 6, sorry. Yes, room 6. Thank you, Emanuele.
Wait, my chair just broke. So wait a second. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that's his problem.
Okay, well. Andrew is sharing the screen because he wrote something, but
okay. Great.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're talking about Elizabeth. That is a 7 years old woman. She has a problem with her mobility because she got into an accident, and she can't move very well her right leg. She's very independent and with a dog. So what problem may she face? How can she feel actually? Sorry, before. Actually, because she's a very independent girl and loves to travel, so she's very brave. She doesn't feel very bad about her condition because actually she lives good with it. The only problem is that she can get tired very easily. So maybe she wants to frequent places where she can sit frequently and just to rest a little bit because of her leg. And when she just goes with her dog somewhere, she has to stop sometimes and stuff like that. But actually, she's very good about it with her condition. So maybe the problem that she may find are, when there is a lot to walk, like when there are a lot of stairs, when there is a long way to get to a point. So she may prefer places very near to her, like maybe connected with, bus or trains or stuff like that, because she can't move a lot. So she prefers to walk less, and so that's it. Actually, when we talk about what she expects from a place or an accommodation, we talk about a place which she can feel free to walk around and doesn't feel stressed or doesn't feel pain. So like maybe she could prefer a place with an elevator, with less stairs, with the personality who can help her, just the staff helping her, those type of things. Maybe also a place was pet friendly, because we know that she has a pet. So of course she's always looking for a pet friendly environment, or like a hotel or stuff like that. So actually she doesn't need a lot of help when she's alone, because she's very independent. She can do like a lot of things, maybe everything, but she still needs that kind of attention that we want to see in those plays, like was saying before our mate from Romania, I think. She was talking about making the things very friendly and attention to details for people with needs. So she doesn't need a lot, but she still needs things like a burger, help for somebody, and those type of things. So that's it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Let me complete this one. Other thing about Elizabeth, she doesn't use technology.
Oh,
so
yeah.
One of the issues for her is they need a lot of detail, because if she doesn't use the technology, we can think about she doesn't enter in the site web to look the room. So they need more details when she may be called to the hotel to have the reservation. And maybe one of the step for her is give her the maps, paper, some tool guides in bring that kind of instruction for her.
Good.
Because it's independent, but she doesn't use the technology. Normally you move out with the Google map, but this kind of woman need the map.
Good, the real map, paper map. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a good point. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much. Okay, so
now the last group must be very, very quick.
I think we let all the groups speak. Is it correct?
No, the last one.
One
The
left,
one
maybe.
where I was involved,
Okay.
the sixth one, but Eloise perhaps is going to speak, and just add, because, for example, the last point we discussed in our group about the fact that she doesn't use the technology. So Eloise, perhaps you can make a very brief report of what we discussed about.
Yes, of course. Well, sorry. No, basically, yeah, for the expectations, same thing that Rosanna said, basically that she doesn't use technologies. So she expects to do things without them, without having to use them, since she doesn't know how to, and to feel as much independent as she can. We also understand that she has a mobility problem, and so we just hope that seeing the kind of character and woman that she is, that we suppose she will still be strong and independent even though she has a mobility problem, and in this case make her feel as independent as she can, like she was before. And I think that's pretty much it, because with the other group it completes what we said.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Last
really.
thing, the bathroom has to be safe for her too.
Of course.
And in the case that she's in how will we say, in a room that you can only get there with an elevator, for example, well, be conscious that she can only use the elevator, and if the elevator doesn't work, in that case, try to put her in a room at the same level without forcing her to have to do more efforts. And that's it, I think.
Good.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, so make yourself.
Thank you.
Congratulate with yourself, because you have done an amazing work. We think that it would be really useful. We will try to be quicker tomorrow by cutting the first part. Okay.
Okay, so thank you very much, Veronica and Alice, and of course, thank you to all the students and the teachers who participated in this group works. So now I'm very pleased to introduce the Orla Steinbeck, who's going to present us her direct experience in the hotels where she works in Ireland, telling us how they manage this question, this issue of welcoming and hosting customers with specific access requirements. Again, thank you very much, Orla, for joining us, and I leave you the floor, and we are very eager to listen to your experience. Thank you very much.
Hi, how are you all? My name is Orla Steinbeck, and I have been working as the hotel health and safety manager for the past 15 years in the Gleneagle Hotel. As part of the Gleneagle Group, we have 3 hotels, the Gleneagle, the Brehon and the Maritime, and accessibility comes to the forefront in everything that we do. Secondly, I would like to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to tell you about our journey for inclusion for all. If I am talking too fast, because I have a habit of doing that, and my accent is quite thick, Kerry accent, please tell me and I will slow down.
Okay,
I'm just going to share my screen now with my presentation, and hopefully it will work. Fingers crossed. Because, oh no, is it working? No.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I just.
Oh, I have to click share. Hang on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay,
You're talking
yes.
about technology.
Yeah.
I have an issue with technology.
Yeah, now we can see it.
Now, is it working?
Yes, perhaps
Great.
if you put in presentation modality, we can see it better. Thank you.
No.
Okay,
Is that better?
now it's perfect. Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
No, I hate looking at myself, so that's another thing. I'm just going to hide my self-view, if that's okay. I can't be looking at myself. Now, so I've already introduced myself. As I said, I'm working for the Gleneagle Group for the past 15 years. So what I've been asked to talk about is our journey from an accessibility point of view. So I'll tell you a bit about the Gleneagle Group. What is it? Why do we think accessibility needs to be on the top of the agenda? Our journey challenges we met along the way, and how we overcame those challenges. I really enjoyed your discussion, and I'm delighted I clicked in a few minutes early, because some of those points that ye raised today are things that we implemented here, we put in place here in the Gleneagle Group. So we do have changing facilities in both male and female bathrooms, for example. We do have pet-friendly areas, more so in the apartments, but we also provide, you know, drinking bowls and things like that for dogs as well. So I really, really did enjoy your discussion, and well done everyone there. So the history of the Gleneagle Group. It's a family-run business, and it's of third generation. The Gleneagle was purchased by the O'Donoghue family in 1956 to raise their large family. However, they also recognised the property's commercial potential and registered it as a hotel in 1957. It was originally an 8-bedroom property, and it has expanded to 245 bedrooms, a function room that can hold 4,200 people, a 25-metre swimming pool, and many food outlets. So we are a large entity here in the Gleneagle, but you can still actually see the original house within the hotel. So there's a nice bit of history there throughout the property. The Brehon Hotel and the Gleneagle Apartments were open in 2004. The Brehon Hotel is a 4-star luxury hotel and has 125 bedrooms and an adult-only Exana spa. The swimming pool in the Gleneagle we're just across the road from each other, so people with families from the Brehon can use the swimming pool in the Gleneagle, and the adults can use, if they want an adult-only area, can go across to the Brehon. So it's a great facility for people there. The Maritime Hotel was brought under the Gleneagle Group umbrella in 2007. The Maritime is also a 4-star luxury hotel with 110 bedrooms. So why did we decide on accessibility as one of our passions? Well, as you can see here, everybody is a guest of ours, and everybody will have some kind of disability in some point of their lives, whether it's that you broke your arm, broke your leg, or you're pushing a buggy, or you've 4 children hanging off you, or you're getting that much older. It suits everybody, and it includes everybody. In 2015, we started on our accessibility journey within the group. We did this because not only did it make sense socially and morally, it also made good business sense. As I've mentioned already, the Gleneagle is around a very long time, and it has expanded within its history. Many of its areas were built when there was no such thing as standards. This caused many physical challenges or barriers when we were looking at inclusion for all. We wanted to ensure that our guests have the most enjoyable experience, reaching their needs and increasing their repeat business, and also getting new guests alike. The physical barriers did not cause an issue for the Brehon and the Maritime because they were built when there were standards to comply with. In 2017, we engaged with ENAT, the European Network for Accessible Tourism, in a pilot scheme. That was such an enjoyable journey because our passion was really coming to life, and we were making it work. This was very helpful in what we have achieved to date. It's extremely satisfying when we see completed tasks. within the system. So when you see a big project that you're going, that's going to cost a lot of money, are we ever going to be able to for it to happen? And then it does happen, and it's such a magical moment. There were some challenges that we were not be able to overcome, so we couldn't manage to get gold in the accreditation. However, the Brehon and the Maritime were awarded silver, and we achieved bronze in the Gleneagle. And you'll understand why when I discuss it going along about the Gleneagle struggling that little bit more because of its size and because the nature of the building. We were the first in the world to achieve the award for accessible inclusion for all. And as Patrick O'Donoghue, our CEO, said, it is an honour to be recognised for our work in accessible tourism, and ethos is to be more than just a group of a hotel, to offer more to our clients and making our properties accessible, welcoming and supportive environment for everyone. We've implemented a series of improvements, and we don't want people to have a broken chain of accessibility within the customer journey. Our work is continuously improving, and I will show you what I mean by that. So our mission, this is our mission. We should treat everybody equally, have a welcoming environment and facilities and services, information and employment accessible. So we have engaged in employment Kerry here in Ireland in relation to people with returning to work after long illnesses, that have a fear of returning to work and helping people coming back to work, various physical and other type of accessibility issues. For example, a person who has a hearing impairment is working in the kitchen, and challenges are, how do you communicate to that person, and how do we provide them with the information that they need? And it's all about integrating people within the workforce as well. So how are we going to do it is the access policy action plan, and this will equip us to become accessible to everyone. And that definitely is something that we're still on our journey to. We haven't got there in the end, but I don't think that you ever get there, because you're constantly improving throughout year on year. So, accessibility barriers and solutions. When we were looking at accessibility and putting an action plan in place, we first looked at what challenges or opportunities we needed to act on. So what we did was we categorized them into 5 barriers. These barriers were attitude, organizational, physical, information and communication, and technology. So we talk about attitude. Attitude can be a barrier if you let it be. It is often a lack of understanding. Walk a mile in my shoes is something to remember here. How do we change attitude? We change attitude by educating people through awareness programs, special speakers, and walking a mile in somebody else's shoes. We carry out a thing called Dine in the Dark. This is where we are blindfolded and have to orientate ourselves around the table. The server has to explain where everything is, and both people get the experience, one being the person with visual impairments and the other person learning how to interact with people with accessibility issues. An open mind is a good mind. Sometimes it is not just employees, it can be guests complaining, for example, that people in wheelchairs, people not in wheelchairs rather, are using the lift. So we had a big function one day, and we had a few people complain that able-bodied people were using the elevator. But what they can't see.
Nu vorbesc, ascult. Ciao.
What they can't see is that people have hidden disabilities too. So just because you don't have a physical disability, you may have a heart condition, you may have cancer, you may have 4 children hanging off you, you know, that you need to use the lift for a particular reason. But their mindset was because somebody was in a wheelchair, that was the only reason why you should use the lift. A culture change is key to success. We'll move on now to, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot my slides. Organizational barriers. They are often unintentional. The organization is not looking at the situation as a whole. So you have to have a multifaceted, so you need a lot of people from different departments making decisions. Because if I make a decision on my own, I might, as the health and safety manager, the marketing manager might not be too impressed about what decision I make. For example, the font that we use, in the marketing tool, or the prettiness, or, you know, with color coordinations and things like that, they're decisions for everybody to make, not just the marketing team either. Policies and procedures that are in place that put a barrier up can prevent people in participating fully. One of the challenges through COVID are masks. People that have a hearing difficulty cannot see your lips, and masks make people sound muffled. So whilst at the start of the pandemic, it was acceptable to wear visors and half visors, now this is not recommended, and people have to wear masks. We have to remember our guests are vital in the service in the hospitality industry, and it is paramount that we listen. Feedback is a way to review our policies and procedures and actions to change. So, physical barriers then. I suppose this is more of a challenge than a physical aspect itself. People think physical when you mention the word accessible. This is a misconception. This is just a perception of people, and it can be incorrect. Through education, information, and culture change, this too will knock down some barriers. As you can see so far, all barriers are interlinked. When we looked at our properties regarding physical barriers, the Brehon and Maritime were less of an issue. The Gleneagle, however, due to the nature of its building and its age, had a very long road in removing these barriers. Remembering that if you inform people of what you have, people will know what to expect even. Also, people are key to your business. So if we cannot provide you with something, you need to know we can't provide that. If we tell you that we have a lift going to a restaurant, but we actually don't because the plan didn't work out, and you come to the hotel expecting a lift to the restaurant, your holiday is ruined because you can't get up there. So they are aspects that you need to be aware of. If you tell somebody that you are there is no lift up to the restaurant, then at least you know there's no lift up to the restaurant, and you can either make a decision that we fit for you or we don't before you actually come and stay with us. Okay, so this is the front of the Gleneagle Hotel, as you can see here. We have an accessible bus, and its collection from the train station is a given. So we go and collect people, our guests, from the train station when the trains come in. And that it's a very handy thing, because we have to remember it's not all about the wheelchair, it's about the mammies and the buggies, it's about the person with the stick. It's about the person with the 4 children. It's about absolutely everyone that's there. It's about the person that's recovering from cancer. You know, it's everybody. It's all of us. We used to have 5 steps up to the top, up to the entrance into the Gleneagle. It has now been reduced to 3 steps. We used to have only 1 railing on the ramp, and now we have 2. We have automatic doors into all the entrances of the property and accessible parking outside these entrances. And what's very important is the slope up to, you know, the curb. So you have a curb outside your accessibility spot and you have a lovely ramp, but someone can't get to the ramp. That's a problem. That's a barrier for that person. We engaged in a local accessibility group for their input and implemented changes that they recommended throughout our journey. We installed hearing loops in reception, the box office, the INEC, and the swimming pool reception as well. We were looking for it in the meeting room, but our meeting room was so diverse, you couldn't actually put one in, which was a pity, but at the same time, it wasn't something that we could provide, but people are aware of that. The Gleneagle has a lot of different levels as it's sprawled over the years. All the areas are now accessible with ramps. So the photo here is a map of the ground floor, and as you can see, it's quite large. And we used to have kind of steps everywhere, but now the ramps are a fantastic tool for everybody to get around. Okay, so this photo here is a before and after of the lobby of the Gleneagle. As you can see in the photo on the left, as you're looking at the screen, it has carpet. This could have the potential to make people fall. Walking sticks can stick to it. Some guests can't lift their legs, you know, if you have MS or one of, for example, or Parkinson's, it can cause an issue with trying to walk on carpet. And as well as that, if you have a person in a wheelchair that doesn't need a carer and they use the wheelchair themselves, it can be quite difficult to move along that carpet. And it can so we decided to tile the area instead to improve the physical access. We also put tactile borders where there is a level change and a lower pile carpet in other areas. As well as that, in our signage, we also put Braille on the signage as well. But what's interesting, when we were talking to people with visual impairments, a lot of people with visual impairments don't actually use Braille. So that was a very interesting fact that we found out. And there's a reader there that somebody can read the menu, or the waitress can read the menu for them and things like that as well. Now this one. This photo here on the left is the most popular bar in the Gleneagle Hotel. And for years, nobody could access it if they weren't fully able-bodied. Because as you can see on the right, we have steps. We didn't have a lift there at the time, and there's also a full flight of stairs to get to this area. So it's a very proud moment for me, because it has been a bone of contention from people staying here over the years about not being able to get to that bar. We installed the lift. However, it is not suitable for everybody because it's a retrofit. You still need assistance using it. So the door is not automatic and you need to hold the button to get to your destination. So while we found a solution, it's not 100% accessible, but if somebody knows it in advance, they can they can legislate for it. This photo here is definitely one of my pride and joys. When we started this journey, the public accessibility toilet reached no standard. It was not fit for purpose. When we decided to build an accessibility toilet that was up to code, we needed to decide on a location, as the hotel is quite large. So we had not only a quite large hotel, but where are you going to put it? Where is the best place for people and for the individual? So we looked at the ground floor and the function rooms, and we decided the best location was in between the 4 function areas. It's fully automatic with a sufficient turning point. We also put amble units, so you know, the larger units in the bathrooms, and we have you know, lowered some of the sinks as well, and the urinals in the men's rooms for, I suppose, kids and things like that as well. So we did a major overhaul there. Before we had this toilet, as I said, the public toilet was not fit for purpose. And in one of the larger function rooms, the accessibility toilet was in the female and there was one in the male. So if you had a female carer with a male person, it was very difficult to bring the person in to use the facility. So we took all of that on board, and that, as I said, is my pride and joy. So moving on, these are types of bedrooms within the group. Over on the left-hand side, you can see a Gleneagle hotel bedroom, and this is actually an accessible bedroom. And you can see that the wardrobe has no doors, and the railings are lowered, the hairdryer is lowered, and there is sufficient space to move around. On the right-hand side, we have one of our superior rooms, but they're fantastic for the likes of, if you're an adult and you have a carer, you don't want to sleep in the same bed as them. You would like a little bit of privacy. So in those rooms, you have that, so that your carer is still fully accessible to you, but you still have that privacy there. Also very good for families with teenagers and things like that. This one. This is our virtual reality. And if you're anyway like me, I can't visualize anything. So if you tell me that there's a dragon coming out of the sky to picture it, it's not happening for me. So what we decided was that we would put various functions and setups on a virtual reality. So people could actually visualize and see the room the way they would like it to be on a particular day. It's a very good selling tool, but also it's a very good experience for the client to see what they will get on perhaps their special day, being a wedding or a function, whatever the case may be. So moving on from that then, information and communication. Well, you have to ask the question, how do people know if you don't tell them? And sometimes we keep the best secrets. We're doing everything, but we tell no one. And that is the biggest communication and information flaw that can happen. You need to determine what information do you want people to know, and how are you going to communicate it? There was a very valid point there with, I think her name was Elizabeth, on your discussion there, where she wasn't very good at technology. And when I came on, I wasn't very good at sharing the screen, so I can completely understand. But also, you have older clientele that don't know how to work their mobile phone, not to mind book online or look at an access guide. So you need to inform these people in a way that they will understand it, and also that they will communicate back with you. So they might ring. We have a lot of older clientele that will ring, and they will ask 101 questions that the people in the call center need to know. And it's paramount that the call center has that information to tell the client. And if they don't have that information, that they get a number that we can ring that person back. The access guide is a great tool to communicate what is available, and it also explains in detail what the layout is. Now, I'm not sure in your modules to date if you have covered the access statement. I presume you will at some point, but the access statement tells you the gradient of your ramps. It tells you what flooring is there. It tells you what's available within the property. It tells you who to contact if you're unsure about something. It gives you the information of like where we are on the map, all of those vital information. Do you have a fridge in the room for medication? That kind of thing. But also the call center needs to know what's in the access guide so that they can tell someone if somebody doesn't know how to look it up themselves. And it's not only if somebody is older, but if somebody is from a different nationality that doesn't speak English, how do we communicate to them? Do we have somebody that speaks their language, which we have a lot of different nationalities here in the hotel? Or is there forms of pictures? Do we have a translator? Google Translate is fantastic now. So it's all those things that you have to take into consideration when you're looking at information and communication. Training and the onboarding process for employees and hiring staff with different requirements and understanding needs is also part of the information and communication. Teamwork leads to success. A very proud moment was when we were awarded the ENAT accreditation. So without all of these people here, we couldn't have done it. We couldn't have made that change. And it's within our everyday thinking. It is so important that no matter what job you do, that you take accessibility into consideration. Whether it is serving a person, whether it is doing a major CapEx plan, it doesn't matter. Accessibility has to be there. Technology, my favorite. Not. When the technology platform is not accessible to the required audience, it can cause a barrier. It needs to be accessible and easy to navigate. And having other means of bookings is paramount. Knowing your clientele and their needs is also very important here. If you don't get it right, you might lose potential guests and customers. Readers, translators, websites and booking sites, I've already discussed all of them throughout, so I don't think I'll go into detail with those again. So our key stages then, this is how we got to being awarded the ENAT label. And that was, we had to apply and be vetted for the quality program. We had to provide, sign a code of good conduct. That's stage one. We're signing up to say we're in this and we're in this for the long haul and we really want to be here. Then stage two was our first assessment. So we have an audit and we got a report from that audit. We put an action plan in place. We audit our website. We publish our accessibility information and prepare our access statement. Stage three, then we have to make improvements to fulfill the criteria. Stage four we do another access audit and report, and we do another assessment. And then we submit, and they make a decision whether or which we have made the necessary changes for the label. So just to summarize, and to ensure continuous improvement, we need to do things as a team. If you don't have a team, you can't do it by yourself. So we devised an accessibility team, and that was from the top down and the bottom up. We conducted a gap analysis, where we are and where do we want to go. We integrated accessibility into our everyday thinking and doing. We are telling people of what a wonderful job that we are doing. We are telling people what to expect when they arrive, who to contact if they need anything, and what we have to offer. And part of the next stage is that we will be doing a virtual tour of our properties to show people. That's very important for people with autism, for example, that they can see it before they come, and to prepare, or a little anxious child, or whoever the case may be. Maybe you just want to have a look around the place before you come. Integration into everyday thinking, from procurement, CapEx planning to serving of customers. I can't reiterate how important that is. And remember, it's not all about the physical environment. It is about inclusion for all, getting buy-in from all the stakeholders, from the top down and the bottom up. So that concludes our journey to date. Thank you for listening. Does anyone have any questions?
It's not a question, but I find it really interesting that you're going to do that virtual experience, because it also shows a lot of transparency with the group and the customer itself. So it also shows, for example, if I were to see all the information and be able to see what it really looks like, I think it would be a plus, because I would think, oh, they're really showing me what I am going to see and what it's going to be like. And so I think it's a great idea. And thank you so much. Everything was really, really interesting.
Hi, Ivor.
Yeah. Hi, Orla. That was terrific. I was really impressed, and I'm so happy to see the things that we talked about when we were there with you doing the access audit back in the day. And especially that lift that you've put in for the upstairs bar, the backstage bar, it's called, right?
Yeah.
It's just, and the toilet, the accessible toilet. And I think you really emphasize the important things that in an old hotel, you can still do a lot to make improvements. And then, of course, providing that information. I just want to add for everyone listening that Katerina and myself were there doing these audits a few years ago now, and it was in 2000.
Hello, Orla. I will talk later. So happy to see you and hear you.
Yeah, and it was 2018 you got the award, and so in 2020 we should have had someone coming back to do a check with you, but of course with the COVID we had to put this whole quality program is suspended at the moment, but we would like to put it back in place and follow up as well. So thank you so much, and it's just a big thank you from me. We've been involved in this training, and just like you were saying with the access statements, these are things that all the students will be hearing about this in the rest of the week.
Oh, thank you. Very good.
If I may just add something, for everybody who heard Orla's presentation, I know it's very interesting, and she covered everything. And I'm really so very pleased to hear all this. And you, Orla, I think, I don't know, you gave us the best gift for the work we've been doing with so much passion for all these years. And if we manage to put just a little stone in your big project, because you were more or less ready, we are very pleased to see so. So I think you are one of the best examples. and your presentation was excellent. And thank you so much.
Thanks, Katrina.
Some other questions from students? Some. Just want to... Yes.
Well, I would like to ask Orla. I couldn't meet you. I'm in it as well, and I couldn't meet. I think we might have met in Brussels, and again, congratulations for this presentation, which is fantastic and will be. It has been extremely, I'm sure, extremely useful for the students. And what I would like to ask you, Orla, do you have some figures that since you started, not only in the last few years, but since you started all your process towards inclusion, that the number of customers with specific access requirements have increased in your facilities?
Yes, I suppose there were a good few conferences that were looking for accessibility and our facilities suited their needs because of the work that we did. There was the Irish Wheelchair Association held their conferences here. Our government won't look at places without accessibility being at the forefront now. So it's a big marketing tool for us, and also has helped us win massive business for the company. And I would honestly highly recommend the ENAP process and the auditing process. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed absolutely every moment of it, and it has helped us no end within our hospitality industry.
Well, I think this is absolutely important also for the students to know.
Yes.
Since we have learned, we're talked yesterday of the importance of these market, which is well, as you know, largely unserved, and so it's quite important to know from an experience like yours that is really paying back. Thanks a lot for your intervention.
Yeah. This was exactly the question I wanted to answer to make to Orla. So thank you, Anna Grazia, because I think it's really important to make the students understand that providing accessibility is also give results in terms of economic impact and economic results. And of course, thank you very much to Orla Steinbeck. And I want also to highlight one thing she said during her presentation. She highlighted in her presentation the importance of training, of have staff well trained about accessibility. And that's why we decided to apply for a project speaking about accessible tourism with young students of tourism school in Italy, Romania and Spain, in order to train the students who are going to enter in the tourism sector, these important topics of accessibility, of how to welcome people with specific access requirements. So I'm very happy you stressed this point about the importance of training, because that's exactly what we are trying to do, to train our students about this important topic. So thank you very much, Orla, for joining us. It was really a pleasure, and I think that it was really very useful for the students to have direct testimony of the works of people who work in the tourism sector, so that to have their direct experience explained to them. So thank you very much again, Orla. If anybody else want to add something?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, yes, thank you.
So, given the fact that you have experience in this domain, can you tell me what is the most important step that needs to be done in order to improve the quality of our service?
So I suppose the quality of service is all about education and information and people knowing our product. So for employees, they need to know what we're selling. They need to know and believe in what we believe in as a company. They need to understand what accessibility and inclusion is for all. If you get that right, that is the most important tool that you have for accessibility. It's not all about the physical environment. It is more so about what you sell, and that is us as a company, and through belief and through ethos and culture within the organization.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to make a last question, if possible. I know that it's 4:30, but I'm wondering if in this last months the world is changing so fast, and what do you think about the future of accessibility in the accommodation world, and if we must link it more and better to another concept that nowadays we talk about it a lot, that is sustainability. In this case, perhaps social sustainability.
That's a very good question. Well, I suppose at the moment, yes, the world is changing, and it is changing a lot. But as the world is changing, accessibility is becoming the norm. It's becoming just part of, as I said already, everybody's thinking. Sustainability and accessibility do come hand in hand, because everybody is looking at the environments around us and how we can keep our environment safe. And accessibility is all part of that as well. The changes are going to be for the better. Because if you listen to the smallies, I have 2 smallies at home. If you listen to the 2 smallies at home, it is about accessibility. It is about sustainability, you know, and it is becoming just one of those things that is a must within society now.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Ivor, yes.
Sorry, me again. Just with the last remark. I think the way you put it there, Orla, is very nice too. I like to hear about the smallies. That means you've got some small people at home, children or young people. That's a word we've never used before. In the smallies, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, I think that you really put it very well, that the sustainability and accessibility, these are things that are rising up now, sort of politically and in people's general understanding. And I think that the pandemic, the COVID, had something to do with that as well. But we need to take more care of people at a personal level. And I think this fits very well with the hospitality industry. It's something that the industry is very good at. And it's something that accessibility also gives you a way into that, so that you've got a natural advantage, if you like, because you've focused on training people on accessibility. When you're sensitive about accessibility, you see all kinds of things that might make a person's visitor, a guest, it might make your guest uncomfortable. So you try to fix that before it becomes a problem. And I think that's something that you're really good at in the Gleneagle. And just to point out that the lady who on my screen is next to you is Anna Grazia. She's the president of ENAT, who's been part of this training program. So it's nice you could meet in this way.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you all.
Please take also the message back to your CEO, to Patrick O'Donoghue, that we've really enjoyed having you in the project, and hopefully we can do this again sometime. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks a million. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you very much. So again, Orla, and thank you very much to everybody participating this afternoon. And okay, now we can close the afternoon session and see you tomorrow morning. And thank you very much again. And Orla, thank you again. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank
See
you very
you.
much.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye.